Is it possible to make money in e-commerce in 2025? Today, we're speaking to Pete Goldring. Pete runs an e-commerce business selling running shorts. We'll be talking to Pete on how he got Happystride up and running. Yes, you saw what I did there? The cost of growing a business online and the importance about growing a community around what you do. This is another conversation you won't want to miss. Pete, you are very welcome to the Entrepreneurs Conversations.
Thank you for having me on, James.
I mean, my very first question, is this a good time to start an e-commerce business? I mean, would you do it? I know you're 6 years in on yours, but would you do it?
I think it's never been easier to start an e-commerce business. Right. You've got platforms, software like Shopify. You can probably build a website within a week, and that costs $30 a month. They have templates. It's very easy to use. You've got things like Canva, which it helps with your design work. You've got ChatGPT, which wasn't around when we started Happystride. I don't need to talk about how ChatGPT can help you. I think it's never been easier. It's not expensive, $30 a month, but I think the things you have got to look into is, like launching any business, you've got to look at the market you're launching in. It's about the product you're launching in. It's got to be a product like a niche. You can look at things like a niche, like we did with colourful running shorts, within a bigger market. But it's got to be, you've really got to research the market, the product, how much is it going to cost to advertise, all of those sorts of things before you jump in.
You were saying before the pre-chat, on the pre-chat, you were saying to me, the sense of community is something that's really, really worked for your business, and you've built that up and worked hard to achieve that.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's 9 million runners in the UK, and getting our brand is Instagram first. Before we went on, when we came up with the name of Happystride, we went on Instagram to make sure the @handle was available before going on Company's House. That's how important it was to us. We knew we were going to be a social media brand first. Yeah. So, as I said, we use Instagram to post lots of content around our community, photos of people at parkrun, at races, on their runs, etc.
So, all things running, and you're actually a runner, like a lifestyle runner yourself, aren't you?
Yes.
Say what you said in the pre-chat. How many bloody marathons have you done?
I've done 70 marathons and ultra marathons.
Wow. So let's get down to it. Why did you come out of quite a successful 6-figure earning career in the smoky London? What was that tipping point that made you go towards this? I'm interested.
I suppose I've got quite addicted to running. I run 6 to 7 days a week, and my wife works in social media for Barclays, and we've always said that we would like to do something ourselves. Test the entrepreneurial waters. And I read the book Shoe Dog, which is as you guys may have read it, story of Nike.
Very good book, isn't it?
Amazing book by Phil Knight. And it's all about how he started Nike, selling trainers out of his garage, to where Nike is now, obviously the leading sportswear company in the world.
Tiger, wasn't it?
Tiger
was the brand, wasn't
Michael
it?
Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that film Air.
But yeah, I have. Yeah, very good film. But the Tiger, that not a lot of people know unless you get into the book and the research of it, that was the shoe that he first imported, wasn't it? Was this Tiger, and that was a Japanese brand itself.
Yes, they are still a brand, aren't they?
Are they really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So, and basically, reading that book, and as I said, we've been talking about doing something. I was like, I've got to do something to do with running, which I'm passionate about, because Nike started as a running brand, didn't it? So I did a park run, which is I don't know if you know what park run is. It's a 5K on a Saturday morning.
Very big community up and down the country.
Yeah, there's 300 in the UK. Yeah. And I noticed that it just sort of hit me that we all, including myself, we all had black black running shorts on. Right. I started to think, is there anyone in the UK specialising in colourful, functional running shorts? And after a bit of research, no one was really specialising in that, and that's sort of where Happystride was born from.
You're out there because you're saying to yourself, or you didn't think of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can take on Nike, no problem
at
all.
Yeah.
I mean, it must have crossed your mind.
Yeah, I do you know what? I didn't. When you're, I suppose, 6 years. I'm 41, so I'm 35. When we launched it, but you're just naive, really. And it started as a proper, I suppose, a side project. It really did start as a couple of pairs of shorts, which were parrots and bananas, right. which we launched. Right. And so we did the 6 months of coming up the name, putting all the branding together, etc. And we launched 6 pairs of shorts, 2 designs, 50 pairs each, bananas and parrots. And to start, I mean, all your friends and family going, what the hell are you doing here? Even Paul, who we both know, said, apparently he said, he never told me, but he said that won't work. Right. And now he's doing my dispatch. Yeah. So we always laugh about that.
When people say it doesn't work, that's great. Isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a proper accelerator.
Yeah.
Actually, just watch.
Yeah, exactly. So the first 6 months, as we're both working full time, we're doing this the game was, the goal was, if we can sell the 100 pairs, and quite a few family and friends bought them, but quite a few randoms bought them, we'll give it another go. And what actually happened was, so this is 2019, so August 2019, so we did that, and we sold the 100 pairs, and then COVID came, and so it was COVID 2020. I got furloughed, so basically
allow you to actually
it gave us a bit of time. So we launched 6 more designs. That's spring, summer, and then from there it's sort of grown and launched lots of different products from there.
Right. And do you now? I mean, we are on the pre-chat. Yeah. It's not just shorts, is it? For our audience, explain. Yeah. There's a lot more behind Pete now. So what else do you do? Pete?
Yeah. So shorts is the core. We do socks, t-shirts, vests. Sunglasses. We're about to launch caps in September. We do they're called wrappets. You wear them around your neck or your wrist or your head. We do hoodies.
And you're serving all this into that existing email audience that you've hooked into, because you're explaining to me that this is an audience that you own.
Yes, it's D2C.
This is not through our good friend Amazon.
No,
Jeff doesn't really take loads of money off you.
Jeff doesn't touch. We did actually try Amazon. Yeah. We tried it for a few months. It just didn't work.
And it's on the Meta platforms that you're really out there, aren't you?
Yeah, so we spend the majority of our advertising on Meta and some on Google.
And you're coming up to doing like £1 million turnover. You're doing thousands and thousands of items there.
Yeah.
For younger people listening, or people that wanting to get into this space.
Yeah.
We just put a few things up and bang a few things out.
Yeah.
What's the real story?
It's really not that easy.
No.
So we've put, for example, I think consistency is really key. We've posted on our social channels, Instagram and Facebook, every day for 4 years.
Right.
We also are on Twitter, Threads, TikTok. So we've made Happystride is about our community. It's a community-led brand. And our mission is to inspire happy running and exercise. Running really helps my mental health. That's I run for fitness and exercise, but I also run because it helps my mental health. And that is the core of Happystride. We say running makes me happy. And for a lot of people, it does. And that's the why of our business, the Simon Sinek why of our business, to inspire happy running and fitness. And we also make a donation to Calm, so a mental health charity, from every product sold, a small percentage. So how we've built the brand is we've stuck to that D2C. We have spent a lot on advertising.
Yeah. Tell our listeners and viewers, that figure, it's a big number, isn't it?
Yeah, so this year we'll probably spend about 300 grand on advertising.
That's a big number. That's a confident thing to be able to do that. But that your world is advertising. I mean, you are.
Yes, I've come from an advertising, and this is the thing, because my wife works in social media at Barclays. I've worked in outdoor advertising, mobile advertising, online advertising in London. We understand advertising, and a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable spending that much money on advertising. We're basically spending £1 and getting 3 to 4 ROAS back. Right. So,
but he's quite good.
That is quite good, yes. Yeah. But what the advertising has helped us do is it's helped us scale the brand nationally across the UK. So we can, with Meta and Google, you can advertise to anyone in the UK and internationally, which we can touch on in a moment. But it's helped us do that. And Happystride, I always say, because the majority of what we sell is colourful patterns, we do sell some blacks, greys and reds and navy blues, because I want anyone who comes on our website to purchase. And we understand that not everyone likes colourful stuff. Anyway, because the majority of the stuff people are wearing is colourful, when they wear it, they're a walking billboard for us, because they go to parkrun, they go to a race, they go to their running club. And they're like, oh, where did you get them from? Yeah. We've even had it where people meet each other through wearing Happystride. Yeah. They go to the parkrun and they go up and talk to each other because they've got the same.
Because it gives them something to hook into as a conversation.
Exactly. So,
but I must admit, the whole colourful thing is, and the only other shorts I know are the ones that, my brain has gone dead. It's got the big, like a band on the back. They do swimming shorts, mainly swim. Got a turtle is their logo.
Oh, I know exactly them. They're really expensive, like 200 quid a pair.
Yeah, 200 quid. And
Vilbequin?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Ollie will look it up. Yeah. But that, Mr. Show Off, I've got my
Vilbequin
£200 shorts on. And that is, it's all over the world. There's a big brand. You see them in the lobbies of hotels. Yeah. And you get the kiddie ones that match the daddy ones, so you can be there with your thing. But very colourful. I have bought some of that back in the day, but always gone for the darker colours and the sort of not so leery colours. So what you just said there, once they're on, you do want them to buy. Yeah. You're known for your colourful stuff, but you're actually attending to that buyer, because that buyer wants to see that he's got Happystride on, but he's a cool dude in his charcoal and his grey or whatever his look is. But and then if you're looking for these other products, you're going into both genders, for women and men. Yeah. So a lot of our products are unisex as well. Okay. We've sort of designed them in a way. That is another great thing about Happystride. It appeals to female and male. I think if you look at our audience, and if you look at a lot of advertising on Meta and Google, it skews more to women. Right. It's probably about 65% women. Really? Yeah, because I think women are more shopping online than men. Right. But going back to how we built it, I think with that advertising, that has built our channels as well. Like, our email list is now 24,500 people. 3 or 4 years ago, it was 1,000 people. Right. And that has built up. Obviously, you have to pay for email. You have to pay like a monthly fee. Yeah. But we can send an email today to 24,500 people. That is pretty powerful. And you can post on your channels. Our Instagram's 21,000. So all of that stuff has helped. And I think it's the consistency and also not giving up. Like, there's been a lot of times where I've sat there in January, it's pissing down with rain, you're not selling much, and you're like, why am I doing this? And are you the face of your socials? My wife, myself. If you go, and it's a lot of our community. Yeah. Our community love being on our. Yeah. On you actually put them on there. If they're 80%. So they will go and do the Chelmsford Park Run, and they will send us a picture, and we will post it. Yeah.
and that's what I mean. It's community first.
And do you think you have taken on Nike then? And Adidas and the big players. Do you think you're nibbling away at that space?
I think so. There's 9 million runners in the UK,
yeah.
And then on top of that, you've got the fitness. So gym goers. I think. I mean, next month we should hit our 50,000th order. Right. So we are nibbling away, but we're a very small percentage, I think. But each year that's compounding.
And what about endorsement from famous runners and stuff? Have you tried that? Have you done any of that?
We've sent a few pairs to some influencers, I suppose micro influencers, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000.
I suppose if you're a big noise, you're sponsored, aren't you? And you've got to wear their junk.
People go to me, send a pair to Mo Farah. I'm like, mate, Mo Farah's sponsored by Nike.
Yeah, that's it. And that's the end of that.
He's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Years ago, Joe Wicks has a pair of our shorts.
Right.
We managed to get him a pair of our shorts, but I think he's got to deal with Lululemon, so he's never going to post about them. Years ago, I think with influencers, when Gymshark launched, they hit it at the right time. You could do that. You could message Joe Wicks and go, mate, can you post about our shorts, and he might do it for a percentage of that. Now, I think if you want to work with like a megastar, you've got to have a serious amount of money to give them.
Yeah, and the scale just wouldn't work for your business for that.
Yeah, and also you see a lot of these celebs launch their own fashion brands, and they don't, and a lot of them don't work. Yeah. They do it for a year, and it just burns out.
And they're not doing it anyway, are they? They've got a whole little company that has sent that to them as a model to just hook them onto a percentage of turnover.
They've just put their logo on a.
And what, Pete? What do you think the future looks for you? I mean, just what's it look like over the next 5 years? If you could look at that, and everything went well, and it was all swimmingly.
I think I said this year we'd love to break the 1 million in turnover. I think if each year it gets a bit easier because there's more people wearing them, more people talking about them. Our audiences are growing. The advertising is learning more because it's got more money. You must have heard this. You have to invest into the machine before it starts learning. Yeah. I think we would love to, become a 2-3 million turnover business. I think some people say some people get lucky, but I think you need to do the work to be in the position to get lucky. Yeah. You never know. One day we might get lucky. One day someone famous might pick them up. Something like to have that real boost. But yeah, that's I suppose I've got it written on my wall to be the largest, the leading provider of running and fitness shorts in the UK. Well, then you need to do more than just think that one day is going to be lucky. Because I think I agree with you. I'm not. By the way, I do not. I don't think we will be lucky. Yeah. We've got to do this ourselves. Then you won't be. Yeah, we've got to do this ourselves. No, it's just there. My point is, Pete, I'm saying that if your mindset, your mindset is that that's what you want to do and that's what you're saying, your brain hears what you say. And, I think it is very important that if that is the case, all this, whether you get a big lift up from a celeb or whatever you do, I think you mine your own success by being out there in a different audience with a different way of doing it. Because if that's a really closed shop and the big boys have got that nailed down, then you look at it with other celebrities that's not hooked into that. Because we were talking on the pre-chat and you were saying that the everyday sport wear is probably where you could go to with that brand, because you're now really getting known for that brand and people want to be around it and seen in it. Yes. And because it is unusual, I think people want to say, I wear this. I wear Homs underwear. Well, no one really knows what they are when I tell them that. They're very good. No, Homs. They're like better than anything else that's out there. And I've done that for about the last 12 years. And I like it that it's different than Calvin Klein's. Yes. And because I like to be that bit different. And I think people do like to have that bit of individuality when they're doing their sport or whatever they're doing. So I think that is a what are you carrying any staff at all with you? No, so it's all as I said, we've got like a freelance designer.
Yeah.
We work with the dispatch bros for all our fulfillment.
So it's a very lean thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that, I suppose that, and as I've mentioned, I don't take much money out of it. I think that has allowed us to grow it quicker and spend that amount of money on advertising.
But that's what I asked you earlier, Pete. What are you? Are you an entrepreneur, or is this a demonstration of passion to business? Explain how you see yourself in it. How do you see that?
I see myself as an entrepreneur because I'm going through all the motions. I'm going through the cash flow struggles. You know,
and taking the risk.
A risk
would always try to identify.
Quite a large amount of my money into this, so I'm not doing this for a laugh.
No.
You know, this is one of the things I was going to talk about: the lows, highs and lows. Like 1 minute you got 50 grand in your bank, and the next day you got zero because you've transferred a load onto your Amex, a load to fulfillment center, a load to Meta, a load to that. So I am.
And you're carrying stock, aren't you? There's stock to carry.
There's quite a large amount of stock I'm carrying, So this is, as I said, the aim is that is our goal. You could say it's part passion because it's what I do. Yeah. I'm a runner. Yeah. And I think that actually helps. Yeah. Because when I go to, you know, I went to Parkrun on Saturday and you see loads of people in your shorts, that's really nice for me. Yeah, like that's really
nice
cool.
Feeling,
like you know, people come up to me. I'm not like a celeb or anything, but people come up to me and go, four people on Saturday at the Southend Park Run all had the leopard print pink shorts on, and the matching sunglasses. So we do a lot of matching stuff. Right. So they buy the shorts and they're like, okay, I'm going to get the vest and I'm going to get the sunglasses. And they were like, there's 4 of us here. A woman called Vicky who's supported us. She's probably bought about 30 or 40 orders. We have people like this, and she was like, oh, there's 4 of us here today in the pink leopard shorts. We're going to get a photo after and stuff like that. So there is still that passion and that nice part of it, but it is a business. We're here to make money. Team,
sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to take a moment to let you know about Baddow Park Mastermind. I have created a mastermind for high-level entrepreneurs. There's only 16 spaces and we've only got a few left. If you often find you're the biggest fish in the pond at other masterminds, click the link in the pod description because this might be just for you. Now, back to the pod. And what do you... With the technology,
yes,
do you think you can put more into spending more with the technology? Is the technology going to help you? Oh, we were talking about TikTok shop and Instagram shop and stuff like that. What's that going to look like?
I think Meta, as I said, we spend a lot of our money on Meta. I think as your audience gets bigger, you can spend more. And I do think we have a Meta account manager because we spend quite a lot. We get provided a Meta account manager. So I have meetings with them every couple of weeks. We could probably spend a little bit more. We could probably keep spending more on that each year. But you can't just go, I'm spending 300 on Meta this year, I'm going to spend 600 on Meta next year because all the learning will just blow up. Right. You've got to gradually make increases, change your audience, etc. Yeah. The channels for us are where we're not really touching are Google. We're spending a very small amount, and we've just hired a Google agency because I've worked with Meta agencies and I've learned I do all the Meta myself. Google, I'm not really an expert on, and so we've hired a Google agency, and the great thing about how we're working with them is they're charging us a very low fee, but then they're getting paid on performance. Okay. So they're not
so they're motivated to
exactly
get right.
So Google is a huge opportunity there because there's so many people who aren't on Facebook and Instagram.
Where's the age demographic? Because do you
for
know
our
that?
audience, our core audience is about 20 to 70. Right. 20. Actually, sorry, I'd say about 25 to 70.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We get a lot of people. It's great. I had an email, you get an email from a 70-year-old going, I love your shorts. It's amazing.
And do you do trade shows, running shows?
We've done the running show at Birmingham.
Did that work? Very expensive.
This is,
aren't they?
Yeah.
These shows are aren't they?
Really expensive. We made a loss.
Yeah.
Because you're paying a couple of grand to have.
You say you made loss. It depends whether you've got some lifetime customers.
Exactly. We're on the actual 2 days.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple, but that's probably something we should do more of. Especially like the big running shows. There's only, that's the key one in the UK.
Could you become more of the face of the brand? Like you're talking about running, you're talking about happiness, you're talking about welfare.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I follow you on Instagram.
Yeah.
I see your videos. I should do more of that.
Because I've only met you today, and what I see, Pete, is someone that's very passionate. You know the job, the whole running scene very well.
Yeah.
If I was a runner, I'd like to see what Pete's up to and what other stuff is going on. And, in amongst any of that bit of social media, you can drop it. And today, as you can see, I've got these on, the shirt and the thing. These are all on limited order now. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah.
And then, just to see how that would progress. I definitely believe your personal brand in what you do would help a lot.
100%. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. In June, I did the South Downs Way 100 miler. So Winchester to Eastbourne. And I documented all of that.
Right.
So we put together a nice reel of the whole race, and we got loads of interaction from that. So I tend to do,
and you could see the hits on that was quite strong.
Yeah. And I tend to do it on that because that's really, people think that's an amazing thing to do.
Yeah.
And that's and the other thing is to inspire. We want to. Our goal is to inspire happy running.
Yeah.
Inspire people to get out the door. So yesterday, Polly, our 4-year-old daughter, did her first junior park run. So 2 kilometres.
4.
She turned 4 on the 1st of August.
Wow.
So it's a week later. You can start junior park run when you're 4. So we took her yesterday, 2K. So it's I work in miles. It's 1.25 miles.
Right.
So we've managed to get her all the Happystride kit from our manufacturers.
Now that'll make good content.
Yeah. So we're going to post a reel. Yeah. My wife's putting it together right now as we speak. So we get there. It's 3 laps, and I bought her a new pair of Adidas running trainers. And because she sees me run, Sam, my wife, runs a little bit. She's like, she wants to run, so she's done a few runs around the block. So it's 3 laps. There's 60 kids. It goes up to 12 years old. Yeah. So we start off the run, and we get halfway around the first lap, and she starts crying, completely crying, and I'm like, so I picked her up. And I've got a little bottle of water in me. I was like, do you want to have some water? So we had some water. And I was like, do you want to carry on? So we walked on, and then we ran and walked, and then we got the first lap. And the great thing about laps is I was like, right, we've got 2 laps now, Polly, 2 laps left. We count down the laps. And so as she was crying, they have someone called a tail walker who's right at the end, who came past us, and he said, are you going to finish? I was like, yeah, we're going to do it. So she wanted to carry on. And then we managed to, I'm quite competitive, but this is nothing. All I wanted to do was finish, but we managed to pick off 3 people, so we came 57th out of 60. And halfway through the race, she said, "Daddy, I love you." Oh. And then literally, we finished, and she did my wife Sam did a little video, and she said, "I didn't want to do it, but I did it." Yeah. And we're going to post that tomorrow, and that's stuff like that people love that content.
Yeah,
and
they love it. Yeah.
Another thing we have explored, and you were talking about it with the Vilbrequin, is the kids, because people want to have matching stuff with their kids. We did launch some kid shorts 2 or 3 years ago when we were a bit smaller in one design, and we launched it for, I don't know, I think it was 11 to 13, 14 to 16, something like. We launched 3 sizes anyway. They did okay, but didn't do it very well. The problem is our factory would charge us the same amount of money for the adults as the kids. as you probably know, with kids' clothes, there's no VAT.
Yeah.
So you are saving there. But that was a bit annoying. So it is something that's another way to grow our business, because so many, people would be like, oh, mummy's got the green leopard shorts. She wants them for her daughter. Yeah. So that's another area we could really explore, but it's just we'll have to make less margin, I think.
Just to pivot a bit while we've got you on the pod with your other expertise. Now, your other world, when you go off to do these other bits of work, it's on the outside advertising space, isn't it? Is that what you were telling me?
So so I've worked in the city in outdoor advertising, so selling advertising on billboards, digital screens, selling advertising on your mobile, on your phones, on networks.
And that outdoor, I mean, that is ambient. We're going to say it's ambient, but with the screens now, you can change it to breakfast, dinner,
you can change
tea,
it every 10 seconds.
Whatever you want to do. I mean, I was involved in Ad Air back in the day, and we were doing stunt advertising from planes, 2-acre ads on the floor in Dubai and stuff like that.
Nice.
And that was always going to be hampered with that phone in your hand.
Yeah.
And do you think that is that kind of a dying art, or is the advertiser changed for that ambience that they want to just reinforce, isn't it? You explain that.
So digital advertising makes up in the UK about 70p in the pound. So when I say digital advertising, that includes Meta, Google, who take the bigger share of that, but then all of your other online publishers, The Guardian, Mail Online, ITV, VOD, all of that stuff. Outdoor advertising is around 5% of all advertising spent in the UK, but brands love outdoor because it's great branding. Yeah. That you can reach 70-80% of the population with a national campaign. Right. You can also get close to stores. You can do proximity to Tesco's if you're an FMCG brand. Right. So I wouldn't say it's dying. What I would say is dying is TV advertising. Yeah. It's definitely decreasing, because how many people now watch live TV? You only may watch the football. You only may watch the Formula One or the golf. But if you want to watch, I don't watch Coronation Street. But if you watch Coronation Street, you watch it when you want to watch it.
Even the Formula One. That's the only reason I had the Sky thing. I just watch it on YouTube now.
Yeah,
it's just 25 minutes afterwards. I just watch that, and it's a condensed version. It does all the thing, and 25 minutes. I've watched the whole race.
Yeah,
I mean, it just things are really changing, aren't they? I mean, that outdoor space. Just to shoot the shit for a minute on that. The JC Decos and stuff like that. Man, they were a proper set of geezers running those places. But they'd force a board up and illegally put stuff up. Probably back in the day, and then they sort of got their credibility as they got to go and clean themselves up. But it was like a barra boy exercise. Yeah,
people used to fly up panels and with no planning permission. You still see them. Obviously, we're in Essex here. There's a few in the fields as you're driving along on the motorway.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Those panels are illegal. Yeah. They're not supposed. They've just been flown up in a farm.
And they've just not. And some of them are just between the farm and the A12 curb, and they're just sort of on the board. And they're selling them legit, but there's no planning.
Yeah. So the big agencies, the big out of home agencies, who I've got a lot of mates in, who I know a lot of people, they won't buy those boards because. Imagine Nike comes in.
Yeah, and it dishes their brand.
Yeah, you can't be seen to be on those sort of boards. So, but out of home is still very, very powerful. Yeah.
I remember there was a pharmacy, a massive pharmacy in like Illinois somewhere, and it had a board in Kansas somewhere else, like miles away from the other end of the country. But that was the piece of advertising that they had, and it just said, 600 miles to our store. Yeah. And that then got the attention of all the TV programs, and this is a million years ago, but it was just they used that stunt board, stunt advertising. I think that for our entrepreneurs, where you put your pounds and pence on advertising is crucial.
100%.
And I've learned the last 3 years, Pete, here, for this wedding venue, we don't retain a customer. They get married, they don't come back. We need a robust, comprehensive funnel that bloody works, and it's got to be fettled and changed and trending, all of that stuff. It's ongoing. It's not just, oh, well, that's plugged in, I'll walk away. It's total work all the time to make it happen. We use Red Rabbit, an outside person, to do our social, to do our SEOs and stuff for our pay-per-click. We use another company to do our socials, and they're constantly, most of them are about 22 years old. They're really on it. They're very switched on. But it is hard work, isn't it? And crucial work, you know.
Yeah, it's really hard work, because when I first started doing it, when we first started doing it, you're trying to learn it yourself. You spend like £100 in a day, and then nothing would happen. And you're just sitting there going, oh God.
You're just throwing it away.
Just find £100. But then you start there's so much to learn.
It's almost like you're paying for the scar in your back to get the learning curve.
There's so many nuances. And it depends what type of brand you are. If you look at us, we're pretty much an e-commerce only brand. We, we're in a couple of independent retailers. Most of our money comes through our website. So it's in our interest to spend on get people to our website and retarget them and build audiences, etc.
That is your shop, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. But if you're, if you're selling Right Guard deodorant, you might want to be in proximity to Tesco, etc. And I think that is the key. And I think with what you're doing, Baddow Park, how far would someone travel to have their wedding here? You can set up that radius within how far they can come to Baddow Park. And I think the key thing is, we got married at Blake Hall. I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, I know Blake Hall.
Lovely
place,
venue. And they were there. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs of your business. They are booked out all the time. And the other great thing about what you do is, people have their wedding and everyone posts on Instagram, don't they?
That's it.
Oh, I got married. Where'd you get married?
And and right from the early stages of that, Pete, we made sure when we were doing the infrastructure for the venue, we put bouncers on every floor, so everybody could be streaming all the time. So it was all robust. A glass fibre was like 30 grand to put in. We had it all dug in, so it was all done. That had to be part of our marketing strategy, was to make sure we were wired for that, and that worked. I think that, for our stuff, it's a Gen Z buyer that are buying a wedding now. The attention span is so short on this stuff, isn't it? It's just a flick, click, and it's gone. And that's why the way it's done, the speed of it, the video, everything's got to have video on there. If it's just photographs, it's probably not enough these days,
Yeah. And I heard you say something the other day. I listened to the one you were doing with the DJ guy.
Yeah. And
you said anything with the word wedding on is more expensive. It's like you pay your videographer $2.5 grand. You pay your photographer $2 grand.
Don't they, Ollie? They pay you loads of money, mate.
Yeah.
I wish. Oliver loves a wedding, don't you, mate? You love a wedding.
I do like a wedding.
You get fed and worked all at the same time.
So it's an expense scale. I reckon it's a good game to be in. One thing I just thought about with weddings as well is, tell me if I'm wrong, no one wants to get married where their friend gets married.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Do you see what I mean? So if all of your friends get to go there, okay, the next one's going to get married. They're not going to go there, are they?
Yeah. What happens is we're getting onto wedding stuff. It's what happens, Pete, is that the venue has to be progressing and changing all the time. So we're adding new features. We've just done a big thing on the pond. We've just done this thing with the cabin for the groom's room, we call it. The cabin is for the grooms pre-night. You have to keep bringing fresh ideas to it. If it becomes this stale old pile of bricks, that's a problem. Where the friend doesn't want to get married, not always. That isn't always the case.
Yeah.
We've gone upper end, and it is more expensive here at Baddow Park, and it's almost a show-off to have been married at Baddow Park House, because it must have cost money, and it's very beautiful, and this, that, and the other. We are working hard with what we do, is to make sure that our relatives and guests at that wedding have a super experience as well as the top table.
Yeah.
And we work hard on that with little mint gifts, and we put more staff in for pastoral care for the day and stuff like that. And it is important. They are the people that are going to walk away and be raving about our wedding venue to their community of where they live. And I think what you said earlier, Pete, that I really strongly advocate is this whole sense of community around your business. It's so powerful, isn't it? I mean, you think we're famous to a few, but that few, that the riches and niches. I mean, you're right in there. That you are right on that thing. That is a whole community. But we were speaking earlier on the pre-chat. You're looking now to really expand that into other sports and to general wear, aren't you?
Yeah. So as I said, running is the core. There's 9 million runners in the UK. So we still think there's a huge potential in that market, but also tapping into fitness, gym wear, even things like paddle tennis. Yeah. Paddle tennis is such a big sport, isn't it?
Have you played that?
Yes, I have played a couple of times.
I've not played. Have you played it, Ollie?
No, I haven't yet.
No.
Yeah.
I'd like
Everybody
to.
keeps raving about it. I need to go.
It's a great workout.
Give it a workout. Yeah.
I played it in Mallorca. So there's
courts going up all over the place.
Yeah.
Even local to us, isn't there?
Yeah, Stockbrook's having 2 courts put in.
Yeah, it's very good.
You should get one here.
Yeah. What do you know? What we thought about that? We did think about that. And watch your space. We'll see.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you think we should be doing that. Let us know. Or if anybody's into paddle courts and they know where they are at a reasonable rate. When you go back to the it's a Bible book, the Shoe Dog, because when you look at that, it was track. That's what he built that brand up to do. It was to service track.
Yeah.
And when you look at them today, we're going around and back in houses.
Yeah.
But when you look at them today, they're just wearing it as a non-sport leisure brand, aren't they now? Everybody wears Nike.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it. I mean, I don't know if you've got a pair of trainers on now, but everyone now, years ago, it was all about being smart. Yeah. And it still is about being smart. Yeah. But when people go out now, how many of them are wearing trainers? Yeah. Like,
I know, big thing.
People used to wear, you wear your loafers, your shirt and your jeans. Yeah. People still do that, but a lot of people now are wearing trainers. Even a lot of people working in the city, they're going in.
But they're doing that they're doing that for leisure comfort as well, aren't they? The comfort thing. Yeah. This brand here, and I must take my shoe off. This I've worn this brand a lot, and this is. Can you see that, Ollie? Can you see that? Swims. Yeah. So Swims. So they do a shoe that you can wear in the sea.
Oh, okay.
And they're Swims, and it all leaks out, and they're very well made, and they're 120 quid, 80 quid online, whatever. But now they do this loafer, and now they do shorts, and now they do this, and now they do that. They do a bag, and they do a thing, and they're maximising out on that community. Yeah. It's very interesting. I find it very exciting that you end up with this ecosystem of that loyal brand person that's hooked into what you do. And I think it's a big lesson, Pete, for our viewers and listeners on the pod here, that you need to be mindful of what you're doing with your product and how you're doing it. It just doesn't need to be fit for purpose. It needs to be fit for community and chatterbox. And I use the word maven. You need mavens that talk about you. And people come to me and say, what they come to me and say, what you're doing is tree stuff. What type of tree should I be planting? And people will be saying to you, what type of trainers should I be wearing? You're a runner, and you become that sort of vase of information to give them. Yeah, I think that can be done so powerfully on the socials now.
Yeah, 100%. And they've almost become the mini influencer for you. Yeah, and they're like we put a card in every order, which it says running makes me happy on the front, and on the back it's a story of who we are, like where we, all our socials and stuff, and we say please tag us in your pictures. And the amount of people who tag us in their pictures is brilliant. And with these running clubs, these mini communities, if one person buys a pair, they go down to the weekly track event. Yeah. They're like, oh, where'd you get them from? And it does. And I think another thing I haven't spoke about is we've built 2,000 reviews on Trustpilot over the last 2 years. We're rated 4.9 out of 5.
That's very good.
So that is another thing to add in to your. So when James goes and buys a pair of shorts after this, he lands on our website. He's never heard of us. When you go onto a new website and you've never heard of a brand, do you look at the reviews?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is what I mean. That has taken time to build. That doesn't happen overnight.
That looks great. Does it fall apart when I wear it? So you go straight to the reviews and check it out.
Yeah. So we're rated 4.9 out of 5. So an interesting thing on that, we're talking about cash flow and stuff like that. So Trustpilot as a business, they put up their prices by 20% a year. So this year, last year it was about $6,000 for us to have unlimited reviews and have the reviews on our product pages and on our website. So put it up 20% for the coming year, this year. And I was chatting to Paul about this, and this is the benefits of, I can talk about how we work with Paul and Lee, the Dispatch Bros, in a moment, but they've worked with Trustpilot for years. I don't know if you know about their strings business.
Yes.
They've got 50,000 Trustpilot reviews.
Yeah.
And they're rated excellent. And they pay a lot. They were paying a lot more than I do. But again, they were putting their price up. And Paul moved over to something called FIFO. Don't know if you've heard of it.
No.
They're basically the same as Trustpilot,
Okay.
but they're not as well known. So Paul did it, and then he was like, "Why don't you do that?" So when it looked into it, and that's I've now moved over to FIFO, and I could transfer all of the reviews over.
Wow.
So I haven't lost the reviews.
Okay.
I lost a few. I lost about 100, and that's going to now cost me $3,000 a year.
Okay.
And they promised me they only increase their rate every year by about 2 or 3% inflation. So those little savings. But anyway, they're like going back. Those reviews really help, and that's not when you launch a business. Those reviews aren't there.
Yeah.
You have to work for years to build up those reviews.
How does it affect you when you see that shit review?
Oh, mate, it pisses me right
It
off.
really does, doesn't it? Doesn't it get to you?
Yeah, it does. We reply to every review, and this is one of the lows of our business. This is another benefit of working with the Dispatch Bros. We've got something so if you order on a weekday, we dispatch on the same day by 3:00. So if you order at 2:59 today, it will be dispatched today, Monday to Friday, and then all the orders over the weekend go out on a Monday. Someone orders today, go at 2:59, goes out today, which is I'm not bigging us up, but that's really good.
Yeah.
Goes out today, it goes via Royal Mail first class. Royal Mail, sometimes that will turn up on Friday. It won't turn up tomorrow.
Right.
And you get the odd customer who goes on Trustpilot or FIFO and gives us a 1-star review, goes, your delivery was no good. Yeah. That's not our fault, but it is our fault because you
chose to use that company that doesn't deliver on time.
Exactly, but this is the problem. Any delivery company, Royal Mail, FedEx, Every, they've all got, it's small percentages, isn't it? But we can't control that. And the problem is, like when I first started doing this, I'd get really pissed off with like customers like that. But now it's just like 1 out of 100 customers is like that.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it works.
What's been, Paul, what's been your with the journey over the last 6 years?
Yeah.
What's been like your lowest moment? What's really got you? Just throw all this away, burn the bloody lot, and go back to work.
I think mate, that's the problem now. It's going to take me a long time to throw all that away. I think it's the time I find really hard for us is how our year goes is March to August. It goes up. September, it drops off a little bit. October, it drops off a little bit. November, December, you've got your Christmas and your gifting, your Black Friday. January and February, even though January's good for fitness and stuff, it's by far the worst 2 months of the year. And every year, I've even written it on a bit of paper now. Because I sort of get a bit depressed in January and February because the sales drop off quite a lot. And
And you're having to pre-buy in China as well. You've got to pay for it.
Do you know what annoys? Do you know the other problem with China in January and February? Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
The factories closed for a month over February. So what you've got to do is you've got to get your spring order in pretty much November to get it by end of January.
Yeah, so you've got the stock to carry.
You lose 40% of your cash.
Yeah.
And the other problem I have is...
It's difficult.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And the other problem I have is I can't ship anything. And shipping is cheaper because I can't afford to lose the cash for that long.
Right.
So when you ship something, it takes 4 or 5 weeks to make it.
Yeah.
Then shipping takes 4 or 5 weeks. So two to 3 months. Whereas when you fly, it takes 4 to 5 weeks to make it, and then you fly, it takes just under a week. So I can't afford to lose the cash because I'm losing 40% cash anyway.
To fly it, yeah.
Anyway, so January and February are the lowest times. So sometimes you sit there thinking, fucking hell, why am I doing this? So when there's no sales coming in. And the problem is, like, I don't compare, like, I'm 41 now, like, you know, I'm ticking on a bit. Like,
Jesus Christ Almighty!
No, you don't.
Come on, man.
But you don't.
41.
But
I'd love 41.
What I don't do now is I don't compare myself to anyone, because you've got your mates who are like earning, like, I don't know, 200 or 300 grand. They're a broker. They're doing all this, and this, and I've sacrificed a bit of that. I still do dabble. I still do a bit of work outside of Happystride, but I don't do. I've never earned, by the way, just to caveat, I've never earned that much money. But I don't do that now. So I think that there are a lot of and sometimes it all comes at once. You're having a bad day, then you get the review come through on the email, and then you're like, and then you might get, the problem with clothing is you get returns. You get people returning stuff. Exchanges are better for us because they're just exchanging from our size, but we pay for the postage back out. But we get about 8% returns a year, which isn't that bad compared to the market. But that's another hit because you lose the postage, you lose the dispatch. So, and I think there hasn't been a real moment, but that time of year is not good. I think also. But I think all businesses have a period where it's not going to be as busy. Like, you're running a wedding venue, you're going to probably say I'm wrong, but I reckon less people get married in the winter versus the summer.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Okay.
Listen, venue on venue, that's usually the trend. There's almost a season for weddings.
Yes.
We're very lucky here, Pete. The venue lends itself to winter weddings and our open fires inside and stuff.
Yeah.
And we've worked hard to promote that, to make sure that we've got a buyer, and the prices are slightly lower, and so we make that happen.
Yeah.
But you're right. So flip it around. What's been the high? What was that moment, Pete, when you just went, "Oh, I've done this. This is me"? You know?
So there's been a couple of moments. One moment, like, when I was doing the orders at home, I was sitting there one day and we had about 50 orders. I was just wrapping the orders. I nearly started crying because I was thinking, how good is this? So people are like buying our stuff. This is the other thing, like, we aren't selling Nike, Adidas on our website. It's our own brand. We've created this, and that is, like, you sometimes forget that. You're selling something.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
You've created that. Yeah. Like, we drove back from Fort Bay yesterday to Lille on the seafront, and we spotted 7 people wearing our stuff.
Cool. I'd
like just
that.
as you're driving along,
that's very
and
cool.
there is a bit of a local community, but the biggest highs are obviously growing each year and stuff like that. But, like, I'm obsessed with numbers and do all the profits and loss and looking at all the numbers and stuff. And I always record our biggest day. And our biggest day, it was this year. And we did 19.5 grand on the day of the London Marathon. We did 360 orders in one day. Wow. We only spent £1,000 on ads, but it was the email list. It was the fact it was London Marathon Day. Right. Everyone's watching the marathon, everyone's running the marathon, everyone's thinking about running. And do you know where I was when this happened? I was in Tenerife on holiday. And I'm just watching it all come on Shopify on my phone. It's literally, and I know our biggest day before that was Global Running Day the year before, which was about 15 grand. And I know what I do is I go on Shopify and I put in today's date and I compare it to our biggest date, and I can see the time of how many orders we did at lunchtime. Right. So I'm tracking. I'm on Shopify all the time, and I woke up the next morning, I was like, Sam, Polly and I are in Tenerife, and we're like, it's like, how bloody cool is that? 360 orders in one day. But that is compounding. So next year, will we be able to do 400 or 500 in a day? And stuff like that, you're like, this is all worth it.
But it's what you said earlier, Pete. You said it is creative. And I keep banging on the channel that this whole entrepreneur thing is about creativity.
Yeah.
You know, and it's no good having a great idea. It's the creating of it afterwards. It's easier to design a car. It's hard to make them pop off a line every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the creative bit.
Yeah.
And it's making that you know, you've established that name now and that brand.
Yeah.
And it's the same here with Badder Park. Where's the advertising between what we're creating is a brand, a service, and you know, the brand is it.
Yeah.
Because the brand will give you legs for a long, long time.
Yeah. And the other key thing is, we're talking about, someone I spoke about our community, is each year we have to bring out a new set of designs to freshen it up.
Yeah.
We tend to do this in February, March, spring, which starts on the shorts and then it transfers over to the other products as we go through the year. And what we do now is, we've been doing it the last 2 years, so we're currently working on our designs for next February, March. We put out a post on Instagram and Facebook saying to our community, what designs do you want to see next?
Right.
So then we pick 5 or 6 of those designs, and they fall into our designs for next year.
Right.
And for example, at the moment, there's a running group called the Sunflower Ladies, and we're working on a sunflower design for them. Right. And we're actually using them with our designer. So we've put together 4 different designs, and we're sending it to them saying, which one do you prefer? Yeah. And they're picking out the one. So we're bringing our community into the journey along the way. And imagine when those sunflower shorts come out, they're like, I was actually part of that. Yeah. And they love that. And the other thing is about, because sometimes you think, oh, I'm under a bit of pressure to get designs for next year, but we're using our community, and I run a sheet throughout the whole year, and any time we come up with a design idea, it goes into that sheet. We might be walking down the high street and we might see some artwork on the wall. I'll give you an example. In Chelmsford, not far from here, there's a public toilet, and on the side of the wall there was some spray paint, and it was a really cool pattern. Right. We didn't directly copy that pattern, but Sam was like, how cool is that pattern? So I'm like, okay, I'll take a picture, save it into the document. When we brief our designer, we're like, what do you think of this as inspiration? We work on it. So that's part of the brand, I suppose, keeping it.
Do you do like a limited edition, limited numbers, and there will only be so many of these? And
we do a couple, and we also, we've got a few designs which have been going 5 or 6 years, because they're really popular. Like for example, so we've got one called the Black Sprinkles, which is black with colourful sprinkles. But we do also chop out designs. So because it's like this year we launched 20 new designs. We can't just keep having, because at the moment we've probably got about 70 designs. Right. And I think this actually is a bit of a problem as well, because it's like we're getting lots more designs. So we do chop out. We're trying to chop out more each year and just keep the popular ones. The other thing is, well, obviously we use our community, but sometimes you just don't know if a design is going to go well or not.
No, until you actually put it into.
But we have done a couple of limited designs. Another thing we've done is, the other thing we do is collaborations. So we work with running clubs, and they want the Happystride shorts, but with their pattern on. Right. We've done it with charities as well. Okay. So that's quite cool as well, because if you think about it, you've got 100 people in a running club. They've already bought Happystride shorts, so they know they like them. And then there's some obviously who haven't. And then they get 100 pairs, and then all of the running club have got them. Yeah. They're going to events, team photos. Yeah,
and now they're experiencing the product as an item as opposed to just a fashion statement. Yeah. Is AI, how does that work? Go on, explain that to us. Is that coming in?
So I use AI a bit on Shopify. The chat on the website, it's not a chat bot, but it produces answers automatically, right. And we can then either use the answer or change the answer or completely delete it and use our answer. So I use that because that's quite good. Sometimes it's spot on.
Yeah.
Can I exchange this item? And it just like. I've started using ChatGPT quite a bit for things like content, for pulling together like product descriptions, content emails. But I think I've used this in my other job as well. Like I have to, when in my other jobs where I have to cold email a brand around getting a meeting with them. You've got to be so careful with sometimes how ChatGPT pulls it out because I think you can tell.
Yeah,
you can tell.
I can smell it sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you use it, but So that's sort of how we're using it at the moment. Not too much, but the Shopify piece.
And Pete, are you the happy owner of Happystride? Are you happy with what you're doing? And I mean, genuinely, it's.
Yeah, I am. I am happy, but. Sorry, it's highs and lows of running a small business. Yeah. It's the day you do 360 orders in a London Marathon, you're high, but then the day when you're got to find all that money for the VAT bill and all this is a low. So,
but it is,
I think that's just running a small business.
I always do this analogy, Pete, and I say that it's like you're going on, on a journey and you go down into the valley where it's muddy and you have to trudgery through it all, and then you're coming up the other side and then there's bright sunshine and vistas and off you go. I don't think that ever changes as a business owner. It just is continually going on. You've got to get better at when your feet are in the mud, and you've got to get better at when you've got the view and the sunshine of not getting too lost in it and find that evenness. Yeah. And we are problem solvers as entrepreneurs. We are problem solvers, and you just got to get better at doing it. Not so stressed, not so angst, and just calmly do it. It's what you were saying about the comments. Knocks you, but you've kind of got to get used to it, and it's not really affecting it. It's affecting your baby, but it's not actually affecting the business too much. And then you've just got to go through it. Yeah, Ollie, we were going to do books, weren't we? What we were reading.
We were going to do books,
but we've kind of done his book.
Yeah. Is there any other books?
I'm currently reading a book called The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz.
Yes, I've read that a long time ago. That's a good book.
Yeah. So I think because sometimes I think with Happystride I've got to think bigger, like in terms of international kids clothing, all these sort of things. I think it's just I'm really enjoying it because I think it talks about everything, even about like coming into a room, smiling, being more friendly, being more confident, and being more creative. That's what I'm quite enjoying at the moment.
Can you just say it again, the title? The
Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz.
Can we put that up? Can we put it on? Can we put that on when we do the edit? Can we? Mine's Rocket Fuel. Let me just look at who it's by, because I can't remember who it's by. But Rocket Fuel is I'm only about a third in, but I'm really enjoying it. And that is a brilliant book. I mean, I'm halfway through it. It was recommended. Pete, if people want to find Happystride, what do they do? How do they do that? Do all that bit.
So it's www.happystride.co.uk. We're also on Instagram, so @Happystride. We're also on Facebook and Twitter and Threads.
Okay. So if you are a budding sporty person like myself, I'm getting into it, and you're looking for being a bit different out there, look up Happystride. Pete, thanks ever so much.
Thank you so much.
And I've really enjoyed the conversation, and I think for the e-commerce you've given a lot of insight to others that are probably wanting to put their toe in the water. 6 years in, it takes that long, doesn't it, to get it right? Yeah,
this is the thing. It's not just you're not just gonna launch a website and then in a few months it's just going to be. It takes a lot of ups and downs, but And thanks so much for having me on.
No, you're welcome, my friend. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
If you've enjoyed the episode, make sure you hit hit those buttons and bells and make sure you do the subscribe and give us a comment. Let us know what you think of the pods and how we're getting on and how we're delivering the message of entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs conversation. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you on the next one.